Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'm back with another review. This time I am continuing the Nightmare on Elm Street series with Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Let me put those lights. This is another fantasy horror film directed by Rennie Harlan from 1988, and it stars Lisa Wilcox, Tuesday Knight, Andros Jones, Danny Hassel, Ken Sagos, Rodney Eastman, Brooke Thies, Toy Newkirk, and Robert Englund. In this film, Dream Demon Freddy Krueger is resurrected from his apparent demise and rapidly tracks down and kills the remainder of the Elm Street kids. However, Kristen, who can draw others into her dreams, wills her special ability to her friend Alice. Alice soon realizes that Freddy is taking advantage of that unknown power to pull a new group of children into his foul domain. So, what did I think of A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master? Well, I've always enjoyed this one, but revisiting it, I fucking love this one. Like, it's up there with the third for me. Like, I'm not 100% sure I'd put it over the third, but there's things that this film does better. There's I think for the most part better acting from a lot of people, even though I thought the acting in the third was an improvement on the first. But yeah, like this one is just a super fun, super entertaining. Like I'm not gonna say is it scary? No. But is it an entertaining like fantasy horror slasher film? 100%. And I absolutely adore it. But let me get to the cast. Lisa Wilcox plays Alice Johnson. She's one of Kristen's friends. She's introduced in this film. I love Alice. I love Alice more than Kristen, actually. Because Kristen, while I find her to be an interesting character and I do enjoy her, for one, I think Lisa Wilcox is a bit better of an actress than Patricia Arquette was earlier in her career. I think her evolution towards the end is a bit more believable and a bit more interesting. Um, Alice especially becoming kind of a badass. And it's believable and it's fun. And I'm like, wow, I love this character. But Lisa Wilcox, I have always enjoyed in this film, and I remember enjoying her in the next film, but I don't remember a ton about it. Tuesday Knight plays Kristen. Tuesday Knight is standing in for Patricia Arquette because apparently around the time this was being filmed, Patricia Arquette became pregnant. So she was like, um, yeah, they got Tuesday Knight, and she also has a song in this. I think it's just called Nightmare. Running from this nightmare. It's a very nice song. It plays in the opening credits. It's a very good song, actually. She has a great voice. But Tuesday Knight, I think for what she had to do, which was take this character over until she inevitably, has her downfall, I think she worked well enough. Again, spoiler review. Read the titles. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, it's in the summary, but again, um, this will be a spoiler review because it's kind of hard to talk about these movies without spoilers. But yeah, I think Tuesday Knight did a great job. From what I've heard, apparently Patricia Arquette met her in a video store and told her that she did amazing. If that's true, that's awesome. I love to hear stuff like that. Andros Jones plays Rick, who is Alice's brother. I really liked this character. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love fun 80s slasher characters. Um, Danny Hassel plays Dan. He's kind of the jock type. He kind of falls for Alice. He's fine. His acting isn't bad. Ken Sagos plays Kincaid from the last film and in this film. I still enjoy Ken Sagos. Rodney Eastman plays Joey, who was the mute in the last film. To be perfectly honest, his acting is not amazing, and there might have been a reason why they kept him mostly mute in the last film. because whenever he does talk, he's doing this thing like Kristen. You can't keep pulling us into your dream. Like he's doing a bit of overacting here. He's still nice to look at. Don't get me wrong, but uh, still, it's like I don't know. His acting wasn't amazing. Brooke Theus plays Debbie, who's kind of the tough chick. I enjoyed her. She's a fun character. Toy Newkirk plays Sheila, who's the nerd. She makes like this device for Debbie because she doesn't like bugs that uses like ultra high powered sound waves to like ward them away, which is cool. But yeah, I enjoyed Sheila as a character, and Robert Englund again as Freddy Krueger. He kills the role yet again. Again, he is more comedic in this, but again, don't see how people see it as so comedic that you can't take him seriously. But then again, these movies have never been like ultra serious. So, yeah. One thing I want to address, a lot of people say that the characters in this are stereotypes and that they're uninteresting. They say Alice is a stereotypical like abused daughter because her dad's a drunk and all that. Her brother is a stereotypical like wannabe Daniel San from Karate Kid. Um, Dan's the stereotypical jock. Debbie's the stereotypical tough girl. Yeah, that whole thing. But that's kind of what the last film did because you had the stereotypical wannabe actress. You had the stereotypical tough guy in Ken Sago's character, or Kincaid. You had the stereotypical silent but deadly in Joey, where it's implied because of the teardrop tattoo that he killed somebody. You have the stereotypical nerd. So I don't understand why it's these people. I'm not saying I don't like the third one because I love the third one. But if you're gonna use the same logic that you do with the fourth film on and if you're gonna use that logic on the fourth film where everything is apparently a stereotype, use that on the third film and tell me that they aren't stereotypes as well. Again, I don't think they're bad characters, but they are 100% stereotypes. But again, stereotypes doesn't mean they're badly written. These characters are written just as well as they need to be. I mean, what are you expecting in a fucking like horror fantasy slasher from the 80s? You're expecting fun characters that you want to live, and yeah, I enjoy these characters. I didn't want any of them to die. It did its goal. Also, with the fucking kills in this are so much fun. Now, I'd say my personal favorite kill from the last film was the first one, the marionette one. I love that kill. I love the effects. Even if some of the like green screening out or like rotoscoping on the shot where he's about to walk through the door looks a bit funky. I still enjoy that effect. It's very gross to look at. There's even more gross shit here. I don't know if any of these top it, but there's a character Sheila gets the life sucked out of her by Freddy. Fucking Joey gets lured by Hope Marie Carlton. Random Hope Marie Carlton cameo. Model from back in the day, I guess. She like comes out of his poster and is like in his bed, topless, and then Freddy like pulls him down. How's this for a wet dream? Love the line. Very funny. And then the mom comes into the room and sees him like stuck in his waterbed, which is great. Um, the tough chick, she's basically lifting weights and then gets her arms like bent so far that they like open up, and then she ends up turning into a cockroach and then being crushed in the roach motel. I love those fucking effects. Again, props to the effects team. These movies are worth it for the dream sequences and the kills. They're so much fun. Um, Rick, or not Rick. Yeah, Rick. The like Invisible Freddy fight was fun. Even though that's not what they originally intended to do, it's still a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, like this film doubles down on all that stuff that you love from the other films, the creative dream sequences. It's at least from the third film, which kind of started the more elaborate dream sequences, but still, it's so much fun to watch them. They're very creative, very well filmed. Rennie Harlan as a director, you would think Rennie Harlan as a director for this. The guy who brought us Die Hard 2, uh, Deep Blue Sea, Cliffhanger, Long Kiss Goodnight, Mind Hunters, Cutthroat Island. The Bricklayer, I did see, it was fine, I guess. The Misfits, I'd have to watch it again. I don't remember much about it. But Long Kiss Goodnight is legitimately my favorite action film, or one of my favorite action films ever. And I love Die Hard 2. So many people give Die Hard 2 crap. Here's a bit of evidence to support my theory. Roger Ebert gave a thumbs down to the first Die Hard and gave a glowing recommendation to Die Hard 2. I kind of agree with them in certain respects. Not that Die Hard is a bad movie. I really like Die Hard, but I love Die Hard 2. Um, and Cliffhanger is a fucking action classic. Like anybody who hasn't seen Die Hard 100 or Cliffhanger should 100% see it. But you'd think Rennie Harlan as a director for a horror movie wouldn't really work. He has directed horror movies in the past. He directed Prison, which I haven't seen, and Devil's Pass, which is like a found footage horror movie. I haven't seen that either. But I think he does a very splendid job with the direction here. There's some really nice shots. There's the shot with Kristen um kind of succumbing to the sleeping pills her mom like put in her food or in her drink, where the camera's like at the top of the ceiling and it's like spinning around her, kind of like emulating how she's feeling, like trying to get to call Alice before she falls asleep. Um, it's there's there was another shot that was really nice. Well, a lot of the shots within the dream sequences are very nice, and I do think that Rennie Harlan knew what to do with this premise. He knew, okay, we already know that people aren't really scared by these movies, so we might as well just make something entertaining, and he did that. Did a great fucking job at that. So yeah, my hat's off to him. Um, there's again Alice, Alice as well. I love this character. Maybe I'm in the maybe I'm in the minority there. I don't know, but I love Alice as a character. She's a badass by the end. I love that. I think she again, I know it's kind of like, oh, what do you expect? Like some teenage girl to fight off Freddy, but like she owns it. And again, I think she's the strongest like lead in one of these movies so far outside of Mark Patton. In the ones that feel like Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I think she's beaten out Heather Langenkamp in the first film and Patricia Arquette in the third. And I'm keeping Heather Langenkamp out of when I'm saying the lead of the third film specifically for that reason, because I really like Heather in the third film. And she's not I don't even know how to go about that, but you know what I mean. But I love Alice as a character. I think she's a great character to pass the baton on from Kristen. Um, and yeah, I love the whole idea of her inheriting like a little bit of everybody that's died so far, like her inheriting her brother's m- um like martial arts abilities when she's using the nunchucks, even though it's very clearly a stunt double with different colored hair. I don't fucking care. It's fucking badass. I love it. It's the 80s knew how to make something fun. like people in the 80s knew how to make fun movies, and this is fun. Her like automatically knowing how to use the nunchucks and starting like going like it's badass. The montage where she's in the mirror and she's like taking off the pictures of her friends so that she can actually see herself. She's like putting on the band from her like badass female friend. She's got the like sensor thing that the nerd character made. She's got like all these different things from all the people that have died so far. And the music, um the down, da 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 down, da 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 down. Craig Sefon, fantastic score here, very memorable. That song is badass as fuck. There needs to be an OST release for all of these films. At some point, like a remastered OST release. Um, the last thing I remember Craig Sefon doing that I've seen was um Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. Um, which that was an amazing score as well. I love the theme to that film. But yeah, like I love that scene, Alice just being a true fucking badass. Um, and just this film gives you exactly what you want in this series, I think, personally. It cuts out all the bullshit. There's some awesome fucking effects in this film. There's this bit where she's in this I don't know how they did this. They probably did like a spinning room thing, but it's a whole fucking movie theater that she walks into that's playing like this old movie, and then she sees like the diner that she works at and it's all decrepit, and like her popcorn starts flying towards the screen and her Coke, and then she flies into the screen, sees all the people who died so far, and then she sees like the old version of herself still working at the diner, like a fear of hers that she's gonna work there forever, and just all of this creative shit that they do in these movies, and I love it. It just fills me with joy watching this movie. I find it really hard to find anything like it's really hard for me to think of something that I didn't like in this film. And that's a big thing for me. Like I'm struggling. Like yeah, some of the acting is not amazing, but for the most part it works. The pace is really fast. It's about um was it about 87 minutes without credits. Very fast paced, fun characters, even if they're cliche. Um awesome dream sequences. Very nice set design in a lot of the nightmares. Um again, Alice is a fucking badass. And yeah, just like I love this film in the series. It's I find it hard to think of something like bad about it that wouldn't just be petty. Like, oh, there was like something that I saw at one point, but like this film does what sequels should do. I think the Nightmare on Elm Street movies 3 and 4 at least have been doing what all good sequels should do. Raise the stakes in a fun way. I mean, if you want to be petty, like, yeah, the way that Freddy comes back is kind of dumb, but it's a sequel. Sequels are gonna have dumb ways of bringing back characters. So if you want to say that, that's fine, but whatever. But yeah, I just love this sequel in the series. I always have, and I hope more people will appreciate it for what it is. But yeah, that was my review of Nightmare on Elm Street 4. The Dream Master. If you've seen the film, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations, put them down there as well. And Movie Reviewer Next Door, out.